Adding due dates in Trello doesn't mean much if you are not getting notified. So let's fix that. Hey, I'm Lucy Reyes, and I help solopreneurs simplify their systems with tools like Trello so that way you can stay organized and without feeling overwhelmed. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add due dates to your Trello cards, set reminders that actually notify you, use checklist due dates if you're on the paid plan, and even include a bonus tutorial to make this all so much easier and faster. So by the end, you'll have a Trello setup that works like a real reminder system instead of a forgotten to-do list. And if you want to save even more time using Trello, then be sure to grab my free guide down below in the description, the 9 top time savers that I absolutely love to use inside of Trello. So let's dive in with the basics and walk you through how to set up due dates inside of Trello cards. All right, so we're inside of my training board and we're going to show you the 2 different ways that you can add a due date to your card. So the first way is if you actually open up the card, then you'll come up here where it says dates and you'll simply select the date that you want this to be due. The other way is to come over here to this little edit icon and then you'll add edit dates and then you can assign it here. Either one of these options gives you the same menu. So what you're going to do here and what you do here is actually super important. So we're trying to set this due date of October 1st. Let me actually open it in the card view so you can have a big picture view. So this is October or September. We're going to change it to October 1st. You can set the time that you want this to be due by. I typically set mine to be in the early morning of the day that it's due because that way, in case I forgot to do it, I can be notified the morning of. So I'm gonna do 7 a.m. And then this part is where you want to make sure that you set a reminder. But if you see here, reminders will be sent to all members and watchers of this card, which we will get to in a second. But the first step is to actually set a reminder. Like, when do you want to be notified that this card is due? Do you want it to notify you at the time of the due date, which would be on October 1st at 7 a.m.? Do you want to be notified 5 minutes before, an hour before, a day, or 2 days before? You decide. It doesn't matter. What matters is what comes next, and making sure that you don't leave it in none because then you won't get a notification, period. So let's go ahead and put at the time of the due date. We're going to save that and you're going to see that this has now been added. So I actually have an automation that does what I just did there. So we're going to remove myself from the card and pretend that automation never existed. But I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up at the end of this video. So stay tuned. All right, so right now the due date has been set to the card. So we come out of it, you can see that the little due date has been added here. So let's click back into it. As of right now, if you leave this card how it is, you will not get notified. Because remember, it says reminders will be sent to all members and watchers of this card. And there's no members in this card. So typically what you would need to do is come in here and add yourself as a member to the card. Now you will get notified because you are a member of this card, or you can come over here to say that you're watching the card. So if I wasn't here, then you can come up here and say watch, and now you're a watcher of the card and you'll be notified. But these are steps that you have to do manually. So if you didn't do any of that, you wouldn't get notified. So that is some little caveats there of how to use these due dates. Now, before we get into the automation, let me show you another thing that you can do with due dates if you are on the paid plan. So something that you can do on a paid plan is you can assign due dates to specific tasks within a Trello card checklist. So for example, if I wanted to say this description is due, actually, the whole part is due October 1st, but maybe the description is due on, let's say, the Monday before. Again, we're going to set the time. We're going to set the reminder date. Let's go ahead and do something different. Let's say it's due on the 26th and I want to be notified 2 days before, okay? Another caveat here, you can't notify yourself more than 2 days before. So plan accordingly, okay? So we're gonna say 2 days before, we're going to save that. And again, you will not be notified unless you have added yourself as a member to that specific checklist. And this feature in itself is only available to paid plans. In my opinion, is definitely worth it, but it's not necessary. You can absolutely just have a separate card where you just turn this checklist item into its own card, add the due date, and that's kind of like a workaround around it. But I make it a lot easier. I like it to be a lot easier. So this is what I do. I'll come in here and add myself as the owner of that checklist item. But as you can see, it had done some automations here that I'm going to show you exactly how they are set up. All right, so to get to the automations, we're going to hit this little automation button at the top and we're gonna go to rules. So once this pops up, you're going to create an automation, and I'm gonna walk you through how to create 2 different automations from scratch right here. The automation we're going to create first is to add yourself as a member to the card as soon as a due date is added, because this will prevent you from having to 1, do it manually, or 2, forget to do it at all. So we're going to add the trigger. And the trigger here is when the due date gets assigned to a card. So when a due date is set on a card, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to hit this little plus sign. The action is to add yourself as a member to the card. So you're going to join the card. If you had another member on your board, then it's going to give you the option to add them to that card instead. But for me, there's no one on this board. It's just myself. Again, I work mostly with solopreneurs. So we're just going to join the card here, hit that plus sign, hit save, and boom, the automation is done. All right, so now let's work on the second automation. So we're going to create the automation. Again, the trigger is going to be when a due date is set on a checklist item. We're going to hit the plus sign, and then we're going to go to checklist, assign the item to me. Again, you can select member, but we're going to say to me. And you can see this is only available in standard and premium spaces. So assign the item to me. We're going to hit save, and it's done. So now when you go back, let's see that in action once again as I'm explaining it. So let's say I want to add a due date to this one. As you can see here, no one's watching it. No one's a member of the card. So we're going to assign a due date. So let's just pick a random one. We're going to hit save. I can move on to the next part of the process. I can just continue on, and this automation will run whether I'm working on the card, whether I have it open or not. Like, I can just set the due date, move on, walk away, do whatever I had to do, and the automation is going to take care of it for you. Same thing if I wanted to assign myself to this checklist item. Again, we're just going to make sure that we set a due date reminder. Let's do 5 minutes before, and boom, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna start working on this other task. Let's go back and make sure it got set. There I am. So now when it's time on this time, so on October 7th at 6:55 a.m., 5 minutes before, I will get a little notification here in this top corner letting me know that, hey, you have this task card or this checklist item due. And if you have the Trello app downloaded onto your mobile phone and you have your settings set to allow notifications from the Trello app, this will also notify you on your phone. There will be a little pop-up that tells you exactly what the Trello card or the checklist item name is. So this is how you not only set due dates on cards and checklist items, but how you make sure you actually get notified so you don't forget what you were supposed to do. Plus, you've learned how to automate the process so that way you don't even have to do it yourself. You don't have to do it manually. And it just saves you that extra time, that extra stress, even that maybe you would have forgotten. So now you know how to do all of that. And if you're ready to save even more time with Trello, then go ahead and grab my free guide to get some extra Trello hacks that are going to help make it so much easier to run your business with Trello. So you can grab it today by checking out the link in the description below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more Trello tutorials and productivity tips, because I will be back with another video soon showing you more behind the scenes of the systems that I'm using and the strategies I use with Trello specifically to help you stay organized and keep your business running smoothly.